Ball drop, countdown, but then we gotta say Fresh Bottle Poppin.
Fresh Bottle Poppin. You from like Chicago all of a sudden?
Poppin. Hey everybody, it's time to put 2020 to rest. I'm Eddy.
I'm Dan.
We're the Deathless Dogs.
As we send 2020 to rest in peace, we're going to drink some R.I.P. Van Winkle.
Nice.
10. One of the few high spots of 2020 was getting my name picked in a raffle and getting this bottle.
This is like a shimmering light.
A raffle in 2020 to pull down something of this quality is pretty cool. I could have won a raffle and got like Wicked Pickle. It was an allocation raffle at a liquor store. For those of you who don't know how that works, this is one of the ones where you didn't have to buy a ticket to enter. For every bottle you purchased, you put your name in. They save all of their more allocated and special stuff for a raffle at the end of the year and pull your name, and then you have the opportunity to buy the bottle. So I still had to buy this. I didn't win it outright.
But you won it.
But I won the chance to buy it, which most people don't get. I was looking in one of my whiskey groups the other day. This bottle, somebody had it on a shelf for $1,000.
Jeez.
I paid a little bit over suggested retail price. I think it was $105. I'm not upset with that at all.
No.
You've never had?
No, I've never had any of it.
I had this last year at Thanksgiving, I think. We went out and went to Freight House for drinks after dinner, and they had just gotten in this, and I ordered a pour of it, which was like half the price of what I paid for this.
So that was like $50 a pour?
Yeah, but it was a generous pour. I mean, it was one of them things where it was just like holidays, I had the money, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to drink it otherwise.
Right.
So I just threw in and let other people taste it at the table and stuff too, and I didn't regret it at all. I thought it was really good. I wouldn't buy it again in a bar at that price now that I had tasted it.
Right.
But I had said at that time, I think I told you, if I had the opportunity to buy one at retail, I would buy one. Yeah. And I got the opportunity 1 year later.
And what a horrible year it's been, but you got the bottle of Pappy, so it's kind of like we're winning.
You're gonna ruffle feathers by calling it Pappy.
Sorry.
Because it's not Pappy. Whiskey dorks will, just be in the comments, like just going nuts.
Yeah.
No, I know things. I know stuff. Yeah. While this is of the same line, the Van Winkle, this is the 10-year, which is the old Rip Van Winkle. The 12-year is the Van Winkle Reserve Lot B.
Okay.
And then the 15-year is the first one that has the Pappy Van Winkle name on it.
Gotcha.
And that goes 15, 20, 23. But obviously, it's aged 10 years. We know that.
Yep.
107 proof according to the bottle here, so 53.5% alcohol. It's got some like lore kind of thing going on here.
And even like a guy on it.
Yeah, is that Rip Van Winkle? I don't know who Rip Van Winkle was. Do you?
He was the guy who slept like 100 years.
Okay, well this says asleep many years in the wood.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable whiskey for memorable occasions. Given it's the end of the shittiest year ever, I think that's a remarkable occasion.
Absolutely. Do you think we should just go proper and knock it down in one day?
I don't know. You got to work tomorrow. I have like 10 days off left. I could do that.
I don't know why you'd want to, because I feel like by Glencairn number 5, you probably aren't getting much out of the taste.
No.
You're no longer getting any sort of value out of that. You're kind of being that guy who drank like the single barrel E.H. Taylor and then got kicked out of Starks. Let's crack into this thing, man. Like, I'm excited. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fresh Bottle Poppin! I gotta be a little heavy-handed with this one, and I think you understand why. I can actually smell the oak coming off of this thing from the coaster.
Really nice fruit going on. We going like an apple-y kind of thing? Green apples almost?
You're getting green apples? I was kind of getting like some oakiness with a little bit of vanilla, actually.
I'm getting a lot of fruit on the nose right now.
I can see a little green apple like you were saying.
Now that vanilla's coming through for me, and we're almost getting to like an apple pie kind of thing,
Yeah, I can see that. Or like an apple crisp.
Yeah, really Pretty classic bourbon notes with that nice. The fruit characteristic feels really fresh to me.
Yeah.
Not a. It's not like jammy. It's more fresh cut.
Cut fruit. Oh, I set this glass down a while ago, and these legs are just like hanging out. It's like suspended in air. Not a lot of burn to this one, really. I mean, you could probably sit here and smell it all day and not really burn your nostrils at all.
Swirling it and going back in. Getting more of that spice coming through a little bit. Like the baking spice. Like I'm calling this like pie. It's like pie in a glass almost on the nose for me.
Some apple pie.
Yeah, that fresh,
I understand that.
Nice apple pie kind of thing.
I'm cool with that. I'm already fancy swirling. I'm getting ready to just take this thing to the house. Clink 'em and drink 'em. Man, that is a needed note to 2020. We are putting 2020 to rest. Rest in peace. That is good.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's a bottle that lives up to its hype, I think.
Yeah.
While this one isn't the most hyped up, I mean, I'd say this is probably the least hyped of anything with a Van Winkle name on it just because it's the youngest.
Yeah.
And probably the easiest to find of all of them. This and the Lot B, I think, kind of come in pairs when they go to stores.
I could see how a cigar aficionado might enjoy this particular bourbon. It's got kind of those tobacco notes, but it also comes through big with those baking spices that you were talking about, and kind of lives up to that pie hype you were talking.
On that last sip, almost a anise kind of quality.
Licorice.
Yeah, but like not so much
You're
like a
saying
black
more of the
licorice.
herbal aspect of it?
Like last night I drank mulled wine that
Okay.
had the star anise in it. And like it's kind of given me a little bit of that vibe. And that had like the oranges and cinnamon and, you know, I
Right.
feel like that's kind of happening here.
I understand what you're saying. I myself get that oaky finish,
Yeah.
and I like that quite a bit. Like, I've really started to like the bourbons that have, you know, the barrel characteristics that you can kind of feel on the back end of your tongue. But up front, this thing is pure and simple, like the fruity baking spices that kind of define this as like a pie, like you were saying.
The only sweetness that really comes through on the taste is right at the front.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's that's where I'm getting that almost licoricey kind of thing happening. That like old school hard candies, like right at the front. That's where all the sweetness is. And it'll sit there if you let it sit on your tongue there. But predominantly, you're getting a lot of oak in the finish and a nice long hug going through, even at only 107 proof. It's warm in there right now.
This is a New Year's treat for sure.
Yeah.
Based on this being kind of our New Year's gift to ourselves for being so awesome this year, I think 2021 is going to be a great year.
Speaking of 2021, I think we should go through just whiskey-related New Year's resolution. I have one, and I'll let you think about yours as I give mine.
So you prepared for this.
I just thought of this as I was like driving yesterday.
Whiskey resolution.
2021, I want to drink more scotch.
Okay.
And not just Isla scotch that I like, you know, that I know I like. I want to get more into the Highland and Speyside stuff. We've only done like a couple scotch episodes.
Yeah.
And I like scotch. I like it more than you do. We hit bourbons really hard because they're so readily available. But there's plenty of other kinds of whiskey that need some love. Piggybacking off of the scotch, Japanese as well.
Yeah.
Which is basically scotch. It's like the same kind of thing.
My whiskey resolution, I've been going and buying a lot more whiskeys obviously now because we've been doing these videos and I've been out in the hunt. And a lot of the times when I go to different stores, I see different store picks. What happened to me last week, I went to Woodman's, they had a store pick Knob Creek, 9-year bottle. What did we get at Stark's? A store pick 9-year Knob Creek. What I'd like to do is do a couple more videos where we're looking at different store picks and seeing how they stack up. More or less just trying to figure out different subtle nuances in different bottles from different barrels, but from the same place. I think it's just a cool concept because everything, if it's single barrel, is going to be a little different.
Well, and it's essentially, it's the same exact thing, just put into two different barrels.
Right.
And they turned out differently based on, you know, time they were put into the barrel, where it was stored, you know, the whole thing. It's crazy to see how vastly different they can be.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting to me. There's a whole like world of differences that can happen between store to store and bottle to bottle and barrel to barrel. And it's just kind of interesting to me to explore that. Truth be told, maybe that brings it full circle. Maybe my whiskey resolution this year is to be more open-minded about all whiskeys. You know, who cares if it's a Scotch? Who cares if it's a bourbon? Who cares if it's an Irish whiskey? Who cares if it's from Tennessee? Who cares if it's from Washington? I don't. If it's good, I'm going to try it. I'm going to like it. I'm going to talk about it.
I mean, we're almost coming up on a year of doing this. We're like 2 more months. It'll be a year. This last year has taught us anything is that, like, your preconceived notions about shit are usually wrong.
Right.
Like, there's been stuff that surprised us over the last year. Stuff we wouldn't have tried if we weren't doing this that became, like, things we really like.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, just drinking all those ryes in July because we weren't rye drinkers. Throwing your preconceived biases out, opening your mind to new experiences, new tastes, not just being like, oh, it has to be Heaven Hill or it has to be Buffalo Trace or it has to,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a lot of people bag on MGP stuff and it's like, I've had a lot of great MGP bourbon. We've got some back here we're going to try, coming up. We've got them ready to go. And it's just going to be a year of discovery, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Be sure to keep leaving us comments. Like, if we need to try something, please let us know. If we need to find something and you know where to find it, please let us know.
Let us know what you're drinking. Let us know what you're finding. Let us know just how you're doing. You know? Yeah, and the YouTube subscriptions have been going up at a rapid rate over the last month, and we really appreciate that. That's super cool. And a lot of people are leaving comments saying, they found us just randomly and are enjoying the videos and subscribing, and we really appreciate that. We're going to keep coming to you every Wednesday, potentially more often than that in the next year. We don't know, but at least every Wednesday you're going to have a new video.
So we have a rating system here at the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium, and that's, would you buy it again or would you not?
We just try to keep it simple with that yes or no kind of question. A lot of people get into more specific aspects of it, and I think that's cool. That's just kind of not how we approach it. The ultimate test of was this good or not would be, would you buy it again?
Yeah.
At the price that you paid for it, do you feel like it was worth it? And I can confidently say with this bottle, yes, I would buy it again. I hope to be able to win a raffle and buy one again, or see one in the wild magically. As this stuff doesn't get to our area too often.
No, we are kind of in a whiskey wasteland as it sits. I haven't seen this on the shelves anywhere. So if I were to find it in a store, absolutely I would pick it up at a price under $150.
Sure, I'd say that's fair. I paid like $105. I could see going as high as $150 just because it's so hard to find. I don't think I'd go above that though.
I would not hoard it, though. I'm not going to be sitting on it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, when I saw that secondary market on it and people were buying these for like $700 to $1,000, and I'm looking at it and it's like, I'm sitting on potentially $1,000, and the thought never even crossed my mind to try to sell it secondary.
No.
Because it's like, I got it. I won the raffle. It's meant to be open. It's meant to be
that's what
enjoyed with your friends. The only flipping I'm doing is when I flip this bottle over into this glass.
Exactly.
And pour some. To send 2020 to bed.
Rest in peace, 2020.
From the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. We'll see you next week.
Cheers. 2021 will be better.
We can only hope.
It's got to be. Can't get much worse, right?